Brad Meltzer is an Emmy-nominated host and a #1 New York Times best-selling author. His new book is called The Nazi Conspiracy. I've got it in my hands right here. It is out, actually, I think tomorrow. It's just coming out this week, though. If it sounds familiar, though, it's because this book is actually a retelling for a brand new audience. Welcome, first of all. The book for adults, The Nazi Conspiracy, was a huge hit. It told a true story. Tell people, if they haven't heard, what is the Nazi conspiracy?
Yeah, so let's paint the picture. This is about a secret plot to kill FDR, Stalin, and Churchill at the height of World War II. And it's a moment where Stalin wants the Allies to invade continental Europe. He's getting crushed by the Soviet Union, who have invaded. And we start sending armaments, but he wants more. He needs help. He wants what eventually is going to be the invasion of Normandy. So this, as 1943 arrives, is when the big three, Stalin, Churchill, and FDR, are going to meet for the very first time and discuss things like logistics and troop numbers. The stakes can't be higher. The whole war rests on this meeting going well, this summit going well. And FDR, President Roosevelt, flies to Tehran, Iran. So here's the moment. His motorcade is coming down the center of the city. Everyone's there craning their necks, trying to see the President of the United States has flown all the way over here. And they're all waving and excited. And someone's waving back in the motorcade. But here's the secret. The person inside that car is not FDR. It's a Secret Service decoy. Because the real FDR is ducked down and hiding in the back of a beat-up sedan that's racing through the side streets of the city. And why? Because they're worried there's a Nazi assassin who's about to murder him. And I just ruined chapter 1 of the Nazi conspiracy, but that's chapter 1. And this is the young adult version, so your kids can enjoy the story too.
So it's quite the hook. But so that is the thing. It's something that I had never heard of until you started writing about it. How did you and your co-writer find, that this had happened? I mean, this is truth is stranger than fiction. How did you guys find this amazing story?
Yeah, I found this story. I love reading the footnotes, and that's just the kind of history nerd I am. And I found the story. I'm like, a secret plot to kill Stalin and FDR and Churchill? This can't be true. And I sent it to my friend and co-writer Josh Mensch, and we just started dividing and conquering. And we're like, oh my gosh, this story is really true. FDR came back from the meeting, and they said, don't tell anyone that there was a plot to kill you, boss. And FDR holds this big press conference, and on the floor and on the grounds of the White House says, the Nazis tried to murder me. And the Secret Service are like, oh, no, I can't believe he said that. And now you're asking yourself, why don't I know this story?
Right. Well,
Here's
it's so...
Right after it happened.
Yeah.
Right after it happened was the invasion of Normandy. And guess what happened? That became the story to tell. And this story about the Nazi conspiracy became a footnote. So
let's talk about real quick, why is a story about 1930s Germany so fascinating and important for young readers?
Yeah, listen, we all, right now, anti-Semitism is at an all-time high. We're seeing Jewish hate at an all-time high, people hating the Jewish people. And we always think like, why are we still fighting Nazis and those sentiments of Nazis in 2025? It's because we think of Nazis as being somewhere over in Europe or somewhere abroad, but it's because they never left here. What we found in the book, and we'll show you, is that during World War II, there was a Nazi rally, and this is true, in Madison Square Garden in the heart of New York City. 20,000 people cheering, a big Nazi swastika right behind the podium, and a giant picture of George Washington. And the first speaker that day at the rally said, if George Washington were alive today, he'd be friends with Adolf Hitler. And that's why we're still fighting Nazis in 2025. As I said, they never left. And we need to teach our kids that you need to stand up and fight back against hate like that. That's why the Nazi conspiracy as a book is more vital than ever.
And so timely. So I really appreciate you I know you've got a lot of interviews to do, but this is, again, a perfect middle grade reader to make history come alive. Thank you for joining us today on Author's Note.
Thank you.
All right, so we've got a lot to come after the break. We're gearing up for Halloween, of course, at Camp Miaconda. The 9 back in just a few minutes.